Hello everyone. Let us now discuss how can we solve this problem. Minimum index of a valid split. So we are given with an array of length m and element of x. X in array is dominant if more than half the elements of array have a value of x. Let us understand this with a example. Right, imagine I am having an array something like 2 1 1 comma 2 comma 5 and then 1 and 1 again. Now here if you see, if I consider this an array, the dominant element would be occurring in this array for more than half the times. So here the size is 4 and 7, so it should be more than half the times. So it should be 4. Sorry, 1 would be having dominance. So this would be our dominant element. So we are considering this in a simple way by taking in the example that if an element into 2 is greater than the size, so 1 is occurring for 4 times, right? 1 is occurring for 4 times. Now 4 into 2, is it greater than the size of the array? Yes. So this element will be the dominant element in the array. So let us go through the question what is given in this question. Right now this is our question and you are given a zero indexed integer array nums of length n with one dominant element. So if you clearly see, there is only one dominant element, right? You can split nums at index I into two arrays, 0 to I plus 1 to n minus 1. But the split is only valid if I should be less than or sorry greater than or equal to 0 and less than n minus 1, or nums of 0 to I and nums of I plus 1 to n minus 1 have the same dominant element. Let us look at this example. Firstly, this example, right? Now here I can make a split, here I can make a split, here I can make a split, or here I can make a split. But the condition is, if I make a split here, that means the array is split like this, and the dominant element in this array should be same. Let us see whether this split is a a valid split. Here the left subarray is 1 comma 2 and the right subarray is 2 comma 2. So in 2 comma 2, 2 is like the greatest element, or let me consider this as maximum frequency, and 2 is having the frequency of 1. And if I multiply it by 2 to check whether it is occurring for more than half times, is greater than 2? No. So this is not a valid split. Now let me take the another split at here at this index. Now let us see whether there are any valid or dominant elements. Now here this is one subarray and this is another subarray. Let me write those subarrays 1 comma 2 comma 2. This is one subarray and this is another subarray. So if you see, 2 is occurring for 2 times, 2 is occurring for 2 times, and 2 into 2 is greater than the size of the array. So this is a valid subarray. So this is having dominant element of 2, and let me see what is the dominant element here. Here it is 2. So 2 is occurring for 1 time and 1 into 2 is greater than 1. So this is our valid split. Now let me go through the another example. But here at this point of time, if I take this as a split, I can't go to this subarray and get the maximum element every time. So even if I get a maximum element till this, so maximum frequent element at this uh, till this, and the maximum element till this, it should be big of n square again and again. So imagine I got a maximum element here. So maximum frequent element here is 1. Now I doesn't have any need to go through this subarray, because if I knew the total frequency, so if I know the total frequency, something like total frequency of 1 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6. Until now, 1 is appearing for 2 times. So before split, 1 is appearing for 2 times, and after split, total frequency is 6. 6 minus 2 is 4. So before split, I am having 2, and after split, I am having 4 as the maximum frequent for 1. But instead, what I can do furthermore is taking the maximum frequent element. But you might ask me, why maximum frequent element? Imagine I am having something like 2 and 1 for 4 times, 1 for 4 times, and 3 for 2 times. So at this moment of time, to get two subarrays at any point, or whether logically, if I want two subarrays containing the maximum frequent element right and left to be more than the half the size, then it should be at least in the whole subarray that dominant element. So that dominant element should be at least at least dominant in the whole array. So if it should be dominant in the subarrays at a valid split, it should be at least a dominant element in the whole subarray. Then only we consider that element as a dominant element in the left and right subarray in any split. Now, my first intuition, my first intuition is to get the dominant element. Now, how do I get this dominant element? The element with maximum frequency will be my dominant element, right? Now, what I need to do now? So I got the maximum frequency of the element, right? This element is let me take the same subarray, given array. Now let us walk through this example and let us understand how the dominant element helps us finding the answer. So here I am having 1 as the dominant element. If you see, I am having 1 for 5 times. 1 is appearing for totally 6, right? So totally 6 times. So this is the most dominant element, right? So let me go through how can I solve this problem. Now, till now, I have 1 appeared for 0 times. So let me check whether this is a valid split. Till here, I have totally 6 times 1. So here only 0 times. So 0, let me check that whether this subarray is valid or not. 0 into 2 should be greater than 1. As this subarray is having size of 1, it should be greater, but it is not. So this is not a valid split. Now let me go through another split here. Here I am going through another split, and here I have counted 1 for one time, 1 for one time. And if I take the size 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, the size is 8. So the size is 8, and here the size is 2 for the left subarray and 8 for the right subarray, and it should be greater, and it should be, sorry, lesser than this 1 into 2. Is it? not. It is not the right split we are going to do. So let me go through the next element. Till now, till now also I have 1 for only one time. So 1 into 2 should be greater than 3. Is it so? Even if this is not satisfied, if this is not satisfied, then we need to skip this part. Now, let me go through another split. Here I have 1 for 2 times. I'm only checking for 1 as it is the dominant element in whole subarray. It would be the dominant in left and also right subarray. It is split. 2 into 2 should be greater than 4. Is it so? No. Now let me go through another one. Here 1 is appearing for 3 times. Now 3 into 2 should be greater than 5. Is it so? Yes, 3 into 2 is 6 and it is greater than 5. Now the remaining will be calculated as 6 minus 3. So 3 into 2 will be, or it should be greater than 5. Is it so? Yes, at this moment of time return this index. That's it. That's all the question is about. Now what I need to do, whether I doesn't have any valid split. So 3 is appearing for maximum number of times and the maximum frequency is 4. So if I take a split here, I am having 1 into 2 is greater than 1. No. So let me skip this part. Now I have 2 times 3 here. I have 2 times 3 here. 2 into 2. So I am calculating the frequency. 2 into 2 should be greater than 2, right? Now at this moment of time it is greater than 2, right? So here I need to move to the another right subarray, right? So 2 into 2, 2 into 2 should be greater than 5. Is it so? No. 4 is not greater than 5. So let me skip. So let me skip this index. Now let me go through another index. Here I have 3 for 3 times. 3 for 3 times. So 3 into 2 should be greater than 3. Is it so? Yes. And here 1 is the only number of times it is occurring. So how do I know that? 4 minus 3 is equal to 1. That's how I knew. 1 into 2 is 2 and is it greater than 4? No. So I skip this part. Now let me go through the another index. So here I have 4 into 2. 4 is the frequency and into 2. 4 into 2 is greater than 4. Is it so? Yes. And here it is for 0 times. 0 into 2 is 0 anyways. Here also 0, here also 0, here also 0. So there is no valid split. At this moment of time, I've written -1. So they asked for minimum index of a valid split. So what would be my algorithm? My algorithm goes like something like, first thing, take the dominant element first. First, take its frequency. Now, for I will be from 0 to n. Now, there should be a valid split at this time. If so, I would maintain a count here which would count the frequency of the dominant element till now as we are iterating through the nums array. So if count is count of the left sub array is greater than half the size and right sub array count is greater than half the size return I. So even if iterating through the for loop, if I didn't get any answer, then I would return minus 1. So this is the whole part of taking the maximum element and the dominant element. So dominant element is represented by max ELEM and maximum frequency by maximum frequency. So int count is here, and the remaining count, the right side count, is represented as remaining count. It should be something like maximum frequency minus count till now. So this is the condition for left subarray and right subarray. So this is how you solve this problem. I would give you the code in the description, and if you like this video, do share it to your friends and do subscribe to my channel. Thank you.